Bob Burg, co-author of The Go-Giver and also co-author of Go-Givers Sell More, joins us on Business at its Best. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Dale, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You are in Florida right now, but you're preparing for a trip to Nampa, and we just want to have an opportunity to talk to you a little bit about the books and about the message you're going to be bringing the folks in Nampa. And I can tell you right now there is significant excitement for the messages you're going to be bringing to the Nampa Civic Center. Let's start off with a behind-the-scenes look at the inspiration for a book that has been adopted by literally the Nampa Chamber of Commerce and a number of other groups around, The Go-Giver. What was the inspiration behind that book for you?
Well, years ago, I had a book out called Endless Referrals, Network Your Everyday Contacts into Sales, which was really about building business relationships that would result in more new business and referral business. It was based on the premise that all things being equal, people will do business with and refer business to those people they know, like, and trust. It was a how-to book, and I had really become a fan of the parable, fable-style books, which I really enjoy. They're quick reads. They usually have a good lesson to them, and I thought, well, it would be great to take the basic premise of Endless Referrals, but really make a story out of it, one that would be enjoyed. Now, I'll tell you, I tried to work on it myself and found out very quickly there's a huge difference between writing a how-to book and writing a fictional story. I was very unqualified to do that one. Fortunately, I had a great friend named John David Mann, who was editor-in-chief of a magazine I used to write for, who's a brilliant, brilliant storyteller. And fortunately, he enjoyed the idea as well, and we kind of took that. And John was the lead writer, the magnificent storyteller that made the characters come alive. I'm more the kind of the how-to person. And it was really a great combination and a lot of fun to do.
Now, the book goes through and tells the story about the 5 laws: value, compensation, influence, authenticity, and receptivity, for the 1 or 2 people who have not read it and are watching right now. But in looking back at those, which one of those laws has impacted you personally the most, and how?
You know, that's a great question, Dale, and I'm not sure there's one that's more important or impactful than the others as much as, you know, value is the foundational principle. You've got to have that. You've got to be able to provide that value to another person in order for them to want to do business with you, and for them to and it only makes sense that, you know, people in a free enterprise-based economy will exchange their money for that which they feel is of equal or greater value than the money they're exchanging it for. So the more value we can provide, I mean, that's business at its best. It's providing more in value than you take in payment, so that the other person feels terrific about it and you still make a very healthy profit. Law number 2 says you simply have to reach out to a lot of people. So it's not just providing value to one person, but touching the lives of many. Which one's more important? I think they both are. Influence, very important. That's the, you know, the all things being equal. That's the know, like, and trust factor. Extremely important. Authenticity, without that, you probably don't have anything. And then receptivity, hey, you know, if you don't know how to receive and won't allow yourself to receive, the rest of it really doesn't matter, because you're not going to have a full enough tank to be able to give even more. So, you know, it's a great question. I'm not sure I can actually answer it with any one. I almost have to say yes.
Yes to all the above. Well, then let's look at the book. And you've reached some significant success with this book, and also the newest book, Go-Givers Sell More. What kind of an impact on your life has the book had? How's it changed things for you?
Oh, well, first, it's made me feel just great that people have been so accepting of it. I mean, it's a book that people have. The reason it's sold so well is just because it's been passed around by so many people. We've had companies, we've had schools, we've had chambers of commerce really adopt the book and use it as their, you know, as a mission to spread, that sort of thing. So it makes me feel great, and you know, again, just very fortunate to have had the chance to work with John on it, because that's what made it such a great story. How it's affected me, I'm not sure. I mean, you know, business was great anyway, and I'm very thankful for that. It certainly, I think, brought a lot more. I was going to say notoriety. I'm not sure that's the right word, but positioning to the marketplace, that certainly worked in my favor there as well. So it's been a good experience, you know, in all different ways.
Now, you say on your Twitter page, and I read in another interview that you see yourself first and foremost as a speaker who has written a book, co-authored a book. Help folks understand what you mean by that. And I saw that in one of your interviews.
Yeah, well, there are what's called speakers who write and writers who speak. I mean, I started out as a speaker. When my first book came out in 1994, I think it was, I wrote it simply to position myself better in the marketplace. I was absolutely a speaker who wrote a book. Now, I've had about, I think, 8 books out now, and I'm sort of feeling a little bit as though there's been a shift. I'm not quite a writer who speaks, but it's a little more even now that that it used to be. But still, if you were going to say, are you a speaker or a writer? If it was one or the other, I'd still say a speaker. As an entrepreneur, and writing is just a way to share the message a little bit more.
Also, on that, on your Twitter description, I saw that you are an advocate of a free market economy. What do you see happening in the economy right now? And I think you can parlay that into what are some of the challenges that small businesses are facing and how they can turn those challenges into opportunities.
Well, over the past 75, 80 years or so, Dale, the free market has really been encroached upon to the point that we really don't have what I would call a free market, and we haven't for a long time. It's over the last 8, 9, 10 years or so, and now currently, it's going more and more away from free market and more sliding into socialism. And I feel really badly about that, because if someone really studies free enterprise, they understand that free enterprise-based economies benefit everybody, including the poor. Life is better for all in a free enterprise-based economy. The challenge is that most people, not most, many people, enough people don't at this point understand what a free enterprise-based or what free market really is. When we look at special interests and huge corporations who are actually spending money buying the influence of Congress people to get special laws, rules, and regulations enacted, that is not a free market. Just because someone wants to make money doesn't mean they're a free enterpriser. So, if they're using the guns of government in order to create a playing field for themselves, that's not free enterprise. So what free enterprise simply is, what capitalism is simply the willing exchange between two or more people. The willing free exchange. Government's legitimate function is to protect their citizenry from force and fraud. Other than that, it's simply to create the environment where people can enact voluntarily, each for their own benefit. And when that happens, it's a tide that raises all boats. Not yours, not mine, everybody's.
Everybody.
Fortunately, the power of free enterprise is so strong, Dale, that even a little bit of it helps a real lot. And hopefully people are going to understand this and go back toward a more free enterprise-based economy. They'll insist upon it.
As we wrap this up, let's talk about what folks attending your session at the Nampa Civic Center coming up in September are going to hear from you, the message that they're going to walk away with. That's going to be September 21st at the Nampa Civic Center.
Yeah, and I'm so looking forward to this. The people in Nampa have really reached out to me, and they've been so terrific, and I just can't wait to meet everybody there. We're going to learn one basic thing, and that is, while you can't control the economy, you can absolutely control your economy. And in the few hours that we have to share together, we're going to show some methodologies you can use to go out there and create those relationships. Create them quickly, create them over time, create them in the most beneficial way for all concerned, so that you'll never have to ask yourself the question, who do I talk to next now that my list of names is running out, because you're going to find you have more and more A-list, highly qualified people to speak to about your product or service than you ever have before, and we're going to have a fun time doing it.
Oh, that's fabulous. Bob Burg, co-author of The Go-Giver, also Go-Givers Sell More. You're going to be in Nampa on September 21st. We're going to have the information up on the screen for folks, and we look forward to seeing you at the Nampa Civic Center. Thanks so much for your time.
Dale, thank you. Make it a great day. Thanks for having me on with you.